Christmas came early this year because you guys have been asking me to do videos with prosumer level cameras, so that's exactly what's happening here. We're taking Panasonic GH6 footage, we're gonna make it sing. You already saw how good it looked in the beginning, and we're gonna be pushing it. I'm gonna be using different tools like color warper, hue versus hue, qualifiers. We're really gonna try to crack the footage and see like where the breaking point is, and then kind of pull it back. And that's just a common practice with this series. Like I wanna really test each camera and see what it's capable of. And then that gives you the license to like do the same. You have to kind of get to a point that makes you uncomfortable and then tip over, you know, take the leap of faith. And that's when the magic happens. And this epic footage was provided by Jeremy, a good friend, and his work ethic is second to none. He's a freelancer. Check out his Instagram page, give him all the follows. And we recently did a survey. Majority of you, regardless of the skill set, are struggling with shot matching, skin tones, balancing, and working with 8-bit footage. So I created a 1-hour long free training that covers all of that. Plus, we'll wrap up the training with an extensive Q&A, and you'll also get a link to download the practice footage, power grades, and some of my personal LUTs. So the link to the free workshop is gonna be in the description below. Click on it after you finish watching this video, check it out. And before we jump into the tutorial section, drop a comment below. Let me know which team you're rooting for the World Cup, because I pretty much lost all my dogs in the fight. Like I was with Brazil, I was with Morocco. I wanted those teams to win. And I always loved France, like very much so. But this is Messi's last World Cup. And I don't know, I kind of feel like it's just destiny, right? It's just, it has to happen. Like they have to win. So I wouldn't be sad if either or won the World Cup. So let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment below. If you guys are enjoying this type of content, please do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more awesomeness. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, and let's roll the intro. All right, so now we're inside Resolve. Here's the shot from GH6, okay? And since it's a static shot, it doesn't really matter where my hero frame is. So I'm just gonna park it somewhere around here and let's just make this our hero frame. So looking at the waveform, everything is shot really well. It's sitting right in the middle, so it should be a good shot. The reason why I picked this though, is because this is gonna help us really test the dynamic range and noise in this image, because look at the spotlight that she's getting. So this is going to be a challenge because on paper, GH6 is a prosumer consumer level camera, right? It's not a full-blown C-line camera. So C-line cinema camera is what I'm trying to say. So we got some like outside the window action happening. We got some lights up here. We got some lights down there. And then again, just like how much can we pull out from her skin and retain that information. So let's just check it out. So I'm gonna wing this, and we're just gonna kind of just build the node tree as we go. And we're gonna keep throwing things at it just to kind of challenge this footage and see how much push and pull we can do. Because that's the whole premise of this, right? Because I don't wanna make these videos as like, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Because every camera is gonna be different. Every situation is gonna be different. Every environment is going to be different. So then we have to adapt to that and build something that's going to be perfect to that specific scenario. Let's check out the project settings. So under color management, I'm just leaving it as is. So basically I'm not applying any color management here. And then under timeline color space, I'm setting it to DaVinci Wide Gamut because we will be using some content aware tool like HDR palette and color warper. So this is going to help us out. And what I've been doing recently, we're gonna create a DaVinci Wide Gamut sandwich, and then we're gonna grade inside of that. So let's just go ahead and start dropping everything in. So I'm gonna start with color space transform. We know that this was shot on Panasonic, so let's go ahead and select the proper settings. Panasonic V Gamut for our color space and Panasonic V-Log for our input gamma. Here we're gonna select DaVinci Wide Gamut and then DaVinci Intermediate. Anybody who is getting confused at this part, you definitely have to check out the workshop. Link is in the description because I'm going to take you through the entire node tree and why I'm doing what I'm doing here, okay? So let's just create like say 7 nodes. If we need to add more or delete some, we're going to do it later. No big deal. Then I'm going to drop another color space transform to kind of close off our color management. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select DaVinci Wide Gamut. And then input gamma will be DaVinci Intermediate, because this was sending out DaVinci Wide Gamut and DaVinci Intermediate. And then, so the input here is going to be that. And then for our output, it's going to be Rec.709 and Gamma 2.4. Okay. So that is, our footage is now properly transformed to Rec.709 from log. This is log. This is Rec.709. Okay. And you can already see everything is protected if we look at our scopes. So on paper, we got all the information. But there is one thing that I'm going to say about Panasonic Vlog when it converts it to Rec.709, especially using Resolve's OFX CST. It does do sort of like a very strong Rec.709 conversion. And you can see it right here, right? Like it's really, really maxing out everything. And that is excellent if you're doing wedding videos, if you're doing run and gun stuff, documentary on low budget. You can just shoot it like this, give it to the editor, they can drop the Rec.709 and they can get going. If everything is shot properly, you're done. You're in a really good spot. But obviously as colorists, this is just a base for us. Rec.709 is never, ever, ever the final look. It's always the foundation, and then you build upon that. The reason why Alexa is so hot and everybody loves it is because their Rec.709 is very gentle, right? So as like with the high-end Sony cameras, with Venice, the S-Log to Rec.709 conversion is so soft and so almost log-like that you still have to do a lot to get it into that place where you want to go. But then it also gives you a lot more dynamic range, and it gives you a lot more freedom to kind of take it in whichever direction you want to go. Whereas here, it's kind of locking you in. It's kind of cornering you with how much it's pushing it. So I'm just thinking out loud. This stuff is important because this is the dialogue that you might be missing if you're working with something like this. You might be going, what the hell is going on? Why is it looking different than like, say, Alexa or Red footage? And I'm just trying to tell you what's really happening. Like every camera manufacturer has their own secret sauce. And the approach that they took with this camera is like, hey, people are not going to probably have a lot of budget shooting with this camera. So let's get them something that it's going to close the gap and they can get from A to Z really fast. And it does do that. But now, as a colorist, I have to kind of undo the heavy Rec.709 conversion that took place. So what am I talking about? I mean, I just feel like we're starting to lose some information in the skin, right? And then we're starting to lose some information in our shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to go under my lift and I'm going to lift it up a little bit like that. And then I'm going to go under my gamma and I'm going to drop it down. And when I'm dropping down my gamma, I'm just looking at her skin, okay? And where do I want to place her skin? So somewhere around here, it doesn't look thin. Like here, it looks kind of thin. It just looks flat. Here, like we're bringing back a lot of the information. We're opening up our image. So even if we look at the bottom, like we're bringing it up a little bit and nothing is flatlining. So it's looking really, really good. We're getting a lot of information back like in this area. So I'm liking it. We can pretty much leave it here. And that could be our primaries, right? But obviously we have to balance it a little bit because if we look at our vector scope, it's leaning too much toward that red. So basically two things are going to happen. I'm going to be looking right here and I'm going to be using my offsets and I'm going to pull it down to kind of even it out. Like right now, there's too much red in the image and it's not necessarily the balance is wrong because these lights could be warm too, right? But still, let's just go in our offset and start pulling it down a little bit, okay? And I'm just, again, our anchor is her skin. So I'm just keeping my eye on her skin as I pull this down. And it's like, how far do I want to go down? And even something like this is not bad at all. And we can see like how far up it was and we kind of pulled it down. So already, guys, like look at the difference, okay? It's looking so much better. As a reference, I did just saved our Rec.709. So we can basically go back and forth and see the difference that we're making. And the difference is absolutely humongous. Now what I want to do is this. I do want to go here and create an S-curve just to kind of have like some sort of like a film curve going and have a strong contrast without losing any information. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to just create a point right here and pull it down and don't worry about it. I'm going to create another point somewhere around here. And another point here, and now we're gonna lift it up. I'm literally looking at her under her eyes, and I just want to make sure that we don't compromise for that, okay? And I'm gonna take that point and I'm gonna kind of keep pulling it close. And even if we just do this, guys, so this is like pretty subtle, right? Like this is not extreme at all. We can even do this and kind of pull this down because again, like my focus is right here and I want to make sure that this stays protected. And we just created enough impact like one point right here. And it just adds a little bit more 3D like around her face and like where the highlights are. And I think it does help. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with my S-curve. If we have to make any changes, we will. But for now, like look at the like the color pop that we're getting, right? And just the separation of our foreground elements from our background. So like, look at that, right? It's doing all the right things. I'm happy. So I'm going to leave that there for now. Now what I want to do is this. I want to go right here, actually right here, and let's pull the skin tones, right? Or we can just do it here. Let's just grab the skin tones. Again, the idea behind this exercise is to mess around with the footage and see how much push and pull we can do. So I'm basically gonna go in, I'm gonna push this up so you guys can see what's happening. And I'm just gonna go in these parameters. And first of all, I'm gonna reduce the width of my hue to something like that. And I'm gonna move it around. Let's see. I wanna grab her hair for sure. And then I wanna take the saturation and just kind of kill the low saturation, so we don't grab her shirt in the foreground. And then I'm gonna go and try to reduce the high saturated areas a little bit, not too much. Okay, so even something like that, that's good enough. And at this point, what I want to do is go under my denoise, crank it up, okay, just something like this. And then I want to just take my blur and give it a little bit of blur, not too much, something like that. And now we can come out, Shift H, come out. And what do I want to do now? I can leave this where it's at, or I can go under saturation and kind of pull that down. So I'm just pulling back the saturation and kind of giving it a bleach bypass-esque like film look, right? And just not going too crazy, just pulling it back a little bit, just a hint, okay? Just taking the digital edge off, because that's one of the things that that's going to happen when you're working with, again, prosumer level cameras. The color science is just not going to be as sophisticated as, say, something like Alexa or Red. So if you want to get that look, you have to do a little bit of jiggery pokery, okay? So that's just one of those secret sauce like that, just like kind of helps you get there easily. And what we can do now, what I like to do is this. Just go here, and I'm going to create an outside node. Right click, add node, outside node, okay? So it's basically going to just leave, if I do Shift H, it leaves this and then grabs everything else. And all I want to do here is go under my printer lights. So in here, under our printer lights, I'm going to be hitting these hotkeys and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and then it's going to make a big difference. So I'm going to go for the cliche orange and teal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just literally going to add green. So I'm going to do +1 green, and I'm going to do +2 green. +2 might be too much, so I'm going to come back and just do +1 green. And you see like how we just added so much green, like a Hollywood green, like in all these areas. And it's nicely separated from like what we did here because it's not affecting our skin tones, right? So that's the beauty of it. And if I just take these two on and off, look at the difference that we're making. Another thing that I want to do right here is I want to pull the highlights down. So I'm just literally going to grab the gamma in the skin node, and I'm going to pull it down a little bit, not too much. And then another thing that I want to do is I want to go under mid-tone detail, and I want to pull it back. So look at what's happening around her face. It's evening everything out. It's a very, very powerful tool, guys. And if I just punch in a little bit and show you, see like how under her eyes, the circles, everything is just being evened out, okay? So it does a really, really good job. So I'm going to go back under my gamma, lift it up a little bit, not too much, and leave it somewhere around here. Let's go back to our outside node, and I think it's just adding a really nice film-like effect. And again, if we go to our Rec.709, this was our Rec.709. So when I say that Rec.709 is never intended for final, this is what I mean. And this is where we're at. And we're not done yet, right? Like, we're still going to play around with it. So what I want to do, one more thing here in this node, is I'm going to go ahead and go under hue versus hue. And I'm going to click on her skin right here. And I want to swing it a little bit, okay? I just want to add a little bit more warmth. I feel like it's just sitting just a tiny bit more on the magenta side. So I'm going to go under hue versus hue. And I'm just going to pull this down a little bit, okay? Not too much. Just even something like this. And I think it just pulls out a little bit of that magenta from the skin. And I like that. So I'm going to leave that there. And guys, it's all about making these super small changes that might even be hard to see online. And you're probably like, what the hell did he just do? Makes all the difference in the world, okay? And now what I want to do is, one of the areas that just bothers me so much, and it's right here. So that could actually be her skin that's very much on the magenta side. But all this just kind of sticks out so much and really annoys me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here under Color Warper. Why am I using Color Warper instead of, like, say, hue versus hue? Because I want to try out different tools and see if we can break the footage. And as soon as we break it, we're going to pull it right back and keep it right there, right? That's the whole idea. Like, how much push and pull we can do with this. So I'm going to go ahead and just click right here. And then I'm going to go under the hue settings. And I'm going to start rotating it, trying to, like, get that magenta out, okay? And again, guys, the beauty is in subtlety, okay? Don't overdo anything. And I think this is doing a lot. Like, you're looking at it before, after. I don't want to go any further than that. This is more than good enough. So I'm going to leave it there. We can do something very crazy. I don't know how well it's going to go. But what we can do is this. I can go here, create a 3-point lock, make sure that usually it's turned off by default. So I'm going to go turn it on and set it to 3 points. And what I want to do is I want to grab this color, the background color, and I want to kind of crank it and see what happens. And I have a feeling it's going to break our image, but let's just try it. So I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to kind of add saturation and push it. And I got to say, I'm kind of impressed with the little bit of push and how it just handled it like a champ. So if I go here and do before and after, like, this node made a huge difference, okay? Like, before we thought we were doing teal and orange, but, like, look at how big of a difference we made. And now the beautiful thing about this one is that we can swing it. If this is like too green, I can go under hue option of this. I'm still parked on this, right? And I can just go under hue and start swinging it. So if this is too green, let's just take it a little bit more toward, like, cyan, right? And cool it off a little bit. Like, what kind of look are you into? What are you going for? So it's totally up to you. And I feel like this is a little bit more subtle, but obviously I want to kind of keep it exaggerated because I feel like it's just kind of fun, right? So this is where we're at right now. And it's pretty impressive. I have to say, I'm very impressed with, like, the push and pull that we're doing and how it's handling it. And that's what it's all about. Like, you don't want to just, like, recklessly push the footage to see if it can handle it, because then, of course, it's going to break. And that's just, you shouldn't be doing that to begin with, right? Like, it's always like, do it tastefully how you would on an actual project and see what kind of grace it gives you, right? Like the footage that you're working with. So if I, again, were to go to Rec.709 to, like, where we're at, one of the things that we can do is, like, we do have a pretty good film look going on, like, you know, our contrast, like here. Now, somebody might be looking at this and going, I kind of like the super, super poppy, like, you know, punch in the face look here compared to, like, Qazi, what you're doing. So one of the things that I want to do is this. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go under my shadows slider and I'm going to crank it up. Like, let's just do it, right? Like, let's bring that information back up, almost give it a HDR sort of like vibe. And what it does is that it lifts up the entire image. So I feel like I don't like how the skin is getting thin again. So I'm going to go under highlights and crank that down. Okay. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. So I'm compressing my highlights and I'm compressing my shadows too. I'm like lifting them up, right? So like we're getting so much more information in this area. It's almost like we're just buying dynamic range, right? Like we're just going in there and we're like, hey, we'll exchange you for some highlights and I would like to buy some shadow detail, right? That's what's happening. And it's phenomenal, guys. Like, again, like the information we're bringing back, like look at outside the window, the amount of information we were able to brought in, because this is how it looked before. And it looks fine, totally fine. This is a completely fine look, but this is after. I feel like it just has so much more to give. And it looks a lot more cinematic, okay, to my eye. It looks much more cinematic. So once again, here, this is our Rec.709, and then this is where we're at so far. What can we do? Can we pull the entire footage up a little bit and see how that handles? Like we can grab it and raise that up a little bit. I don't like that, so I'm going to pull that back down. Can we raise it here? And then maybe grab this and raise it to something like that and see what this is doing. Okay, I kind of like what this did. So I'm just going to leave these changes in. And again, we're creating a three-dimensional aspect to our footage. Like you can see, right? Like without this contrast, the footage is very flat. And with the custom S-curve, it just like the lips look so good. Like she looks so great. The hair looks great. It pops. The cell phone is popping. This tattoo just like pops so nicely. Like I don't have to create 100 different windows to make those adjustments. It's just doing it for me. Okay. And then the final touch is going to be this. I'm just gonna come down here, type in halation, and just add some texture to my footage, right? So I'm just gonna go in here, and when you first drop that on, it looks absolutely horrendous. So what we need to do is this. I'm gonna be using my panel, but I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go under my threshold and pull that back. I'm just focusing on her face right here. I don't want to mess with any of this. I want to just keep the edges red. Okay, so I'm going to keep going until we have something like this. So we got a little bit of thing going on here. We got a little bit going on here. Like this is good. I can live with that. Maybe bring more back. No, more is too much. So I'm going to leave it there. But then the thing that I don't like is like this kind of action that's happening here. So in order to kill that, we have to turn on fine-tune relative spread. And I'm going to go under my green and I'm going to pull it back. I don't necessarily want the green. I kind of just want the red channel and maybe a little bit of like that teal action that's happening. But even that just seems a bit too strong. So what I'm going to do is let's work on the spread and pull that down a little bit, right? So we just keep like this kind of action happening. That's like very, very subtle, but it's there, right? It's very subtle, but it's there. Where else can we see it? It's all there, right? It's subtle, but it's there. It's going to be in all the areas where it matters. It's going to be right here up top, right? So it just, it doesn't punch you in the face, but it just like does it in the right way where it just looks really cool and cinematic, right? Looks super, super cinematic, and we customized it so easily and effectively. And another thing that I want to do is I want to go under grain. I want to turn that on. And when you turn it on, it's like extremely heavy, like super, super heavy handed. So we want to basically cut all of these down to half. So I'm going to go under my strength and I'm going to bring that down to about 1.25 right here, somewhere around here. And then I'm going to go under size. I'm going to bring it to 250. Literally cut it in half. And then I'm just going to take out the saturation because we just want the monochromatic grain and not noise. And now if I go in and do before and after, you can see how it's just kind of adding this nice film texture. Okay. Again, on her face, before, after, before, after, right? Very nice. Now let's just play it through and see if everything holds up. Everything is holding up. Our key, there is no chatter. There's none of that. I mean, let's break it down, right? So log, Rec.709, primaries, just to kind of tame the footage and pull everything back down. Created a custom curve that did a lot, right? And then went in and just kind of pulled everything down here using our qualifier, and just like see how much of a difference it made. Like look at before and then this, and then created an outside node. Like, why do you have to do extra work? Like, let Resolve do the extra work. That's why Resolve is so much more powerful than Premiere Pro and other tools out there, right? Because you can't do that. And it's not that easy that you can just right click and outside node, boom, done, right? You don't have to recreate another mask and then track it and all those things. Then we went in, used our color warper and just exaggerated the background, and then helped with her skin, just kind of rotated it just a tiny bit right here and got rid of that extra magenta. Used our shadows to lift it up, and then highlights to pull it down, almost like a HDR effect, if you will. And then used our halation in a very, very subtle way, super subtle way. And then grain to kind of finish it off. And let's check out the final look in full screen.
Feel like I'm the goat, I'm Christopher Wallace. Stay fresh with no stylist. Hot like a tamale. Every time I speak, yeah, I catch a deposit. Yeah, you know I get it, cause position said I got it.
I was hella impressed, like how far we pushed it and how it handled it like a champ. I didn't see any noise. I didn't see any issues with like a specific channel, because when I used to own C500 Mark II, $16,000 camera, man, the red channel was gone. It was so noisy. It would just pick up like dust. Like it would just pick up noise so easily. And you almost 100% of the time had to apply like noise reduction to kind of clean up the red channel. And guys, if you really do want to deep dive and learn more about color grading and just kind of get a head start, then definitely check out the free workshop. Link is going to be in the description below. So let me know what other cameras we should cover in this series. If you're enjoying the content, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more awesomeness, and remember, work hard, get obsessed, get possessed. I will see you guys in the next video.